morning. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is well. How is day? It's going pretty okay, actually. It's May 4th. I hope everybody is well. I hope you're having a good week so far. It's almost over. I hope everybody is doing well. Someone gave you fire. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. We're going to give it a couple minutes. I know I'm even starting late. I do want to give people a couple minutes to get in here. Just in case it's... Ooh, there went my iPad. Just in case it's their question. If somebody submitted a question and didn't want to miss it. We had 7 unique submissions. There was one that was a double submission, I think. Or if it was 2 different people, it's virtually the same question, almost verbatim, so. A bit distracted this morning. I have another doctor's appointment today. I have my really in-depth ultrasound checking on the baby. This is the one where they take measurements of all the limbs and stuff to make sure that the baby is forming standardly. I don't want to say properly. That's kind of ableist, but that the baby is forming as is standard. And I suppose today we'll find out if there's anything wrong anencephaly-wise, which I know is a risk. So we'll find out all of this kind of stuff today, this afternoon. So I'm not driving for the after school today, but I am. It's only because that's when my appointment is. So I'll be ending about the same time to go to my appointment, and hopefully it'll be good news. Hopefully it'll just be business as usual, I suppose. So I hope. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. Of course I'm nervous, but that's okay. Just because I know that there's a risk. I appreciate that, R2, actually, tremendously. And the thing is, like, not to dox myself, but if there is anything terminally wrong with the fetus, I live in a state where I'm well past the point of them allowing the DNC procedure to terminate pregnancy that's bound to fail, which means I would have to carry it the full term, which will be heartbreaking. So I'm very nervous today. Hopefully everything is fine, but if not, I might be too distraught to stream. And I hope people understand that, because that's pretty catastrophic. My sister and my nephew had anencephaly, and so rather than carry to term, she terminated the pregnancy because there was a 0% chance of survival. But now with all of the new sweeping legislation after they got rid of Roe v. Wade, many U.S. states, like mine, have made it where even if my baby has a 0% survival chance, I will have to carry to term, which will be heartbreaking and terrifying. So I'm very nervous today, to be honest. And I feel like these are things that, like, people just pretend don't exist when it comes to pregnancies, because there's so many that just go off without a hitch, right? Aki Master, thank you for the follow, and Smesarenko, thank you for the water redeem. But nobody talks about the scary parts of pregnancies. It's just, oh, it's a beautiful time in a person's life. But there's some really scary aspects to it that just never get talked about. And I feel like that's doing a disservice to those of us that are capable of getting pregnant or want to get pregnant. In fact, it's doing a disservice to people that struggle with getting pregnant. So that's why I've tried to be pretty open and honest with my experience, even if it's not all sunshine and rainbows, is because it's real. Like, pregnancy is scary and uncomfortable and very inconvenient. But this was a planned pregnancy, very much wanted child, so it's a mixed bag, I suppose. All right, so this is something that I should have started on time, and then I was like, wait, I should put the questions on stream so that after I read it, people will still, like, if someone tunes in, they'll know what I'm answering. So that's why I ended up being late, unfortunately, is because I was sitting down about to hit start streaming, and then it was like, wait, I should probably have them on the screen, and so I had to set it up. So even with just 7 questions, it took a bit of time. Pregnancy is very inconvenient. You can quote me on that. But anyways, okay, so we're starting every Thursday. Starting today, I want to do a segment where at least we start stream with Ask Mom, where people submitted questions that they want advice on issues that they're dealing with or problems they have. And I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a therapist. But I will do my best to give the soundest advice I know how, or at least the advice of this is how I would deal with it. And I hope that it helps. So, where is it? Okay, there. All right, the first question. What can I do as a son so that my mother can listen more to my advice and not ignore me? And I feel like this is actually a pretty universal thing, definitely for millennials and Gen Z. Both have this kind of shared experience, I think. And it's very unfortunate because I think that we're some of the most educated generations that have existed, and yet our parents will still treat us like we're too naive, and we haven't lived long enough to know how the world works, and when we're older we'll understand, right? I'm 37 and I have my 4th child on the way, and I still get this from my parents, so I actually relate very deeply to this question. That, because I have different views on the world than my parents do, that, well, clearly I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm just uneducated or naive, and I should come back to the conversation when I've learned something, which is the most frustrating thing ever, because I don't know, I'm allowed to vote when I'm 18 unless they successfully raise the voting age. I have to be on my own health insurance plan at the very latest 26. So it's like, no, I'm pretty sure I've been doing my own taxes for 15 years. Nah, I think I know something. I think I know a little something about something. So I can very much relate to this question. As far as, I'm not sure so much that, like, as a son, Hope, thank you so much for the $3 donation. Thank you so much. That's going directly to some new outfits. Specifically, if I can only get one, I'm going to get the summer one because I think I have a good idea for that one. But I really would like a warm weather warm weather outfit too. So the $3 is going directly to that, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you. And I think that's my first dono on the channel, period. Hope. So thank you. My very first one ever. So here's the thing, is that what I've found with the older generations is that this is my experience, but they don't listen, and eventually you'll be proven right, where technically you could go, well, I told you so. And in my experience, the older generations, the boomers and the generation before them, they don't apologize and they don't admit that they're wrong. That's my experience. I don't know why that is. I don't, because it's not hard to apologize, and it's not hard to be like, oh, well, it seems I was wrong about that. You were right. Like, it doesn't take much humility to do that. And yet, in my experience, I have never heard a boomer or older ever say they were sorry or that they were wrong. In my life, I've never heard it. So I don't know if that's just a generational thing or not. As far as getting her to listen and not ignore you, I don't know your mother particularly. I know that my parents, there is nothing I can do that's going to get them to listen. They are not going to change their minds. And I have learned that after at least a solid decade of trying. I know that's not what you want to hear, but as far what I don't know is how your mother ignoring you and not listening to you affects you, and that's what I'm most concerned with, because I do know that can take a toll where you feel like it makes you feel stupid or useless, and you're not. Just because someone doesn't listen to you and doesn't trust you enough to listen doesn't mean that it devalues you in any way. If they're not going to listen, that's their loss. And I understand that it's also, we've been taught our whole lives that like family is most important and you have to stick by family. But your mother's choices are her own. And so it's up to you whether or not you want to continue giving advice to your mother that she's going to ignore. Or not. You can just stop, because she has a history, clearly, of not listening to your advice. And even like, I don't know if she asks for it and then ignores it, or if you offer it without her asking and she ignores it. But either way, she has a proven track record that whatever you recommend, she doesn't care to listen. So my recommendation on this is for you to remind yourself that your mother is a grown woman who is responsible for the consequences of her own choices and actions. And it's not your job to bail her out if she makes a bad choice. It's not. It is not your job to take care of your parent. You can if you want to. And your parent is very lucky if you do. But your parent is not your responsibility. So if she's going to ignore your advice, if it's going to protect your well-being to stop giving advice and just be like, all right, fine, do what you want, then do that. Protect your own peace. If she's making illegal choices, it's up to you whether or not you want to get a law enforcement involved. But again, it's not your responsibility to fix it for her. It's just, I think it's one of those things where it's like, if you want her to listen more to your advice and not ignore your advice, I get the feeling that your mother is making harmful choices and you're trying to correct her path. But that's not your responsibility. So that might not be the answer you want, but that is the answer I've got. Is it's better to protect your own peace and your own well-being and your own peace of minds than to constantly worry about someone who doesn't want your help. That's the best advice I can give on that. Because, I don't know, hopefully there's somebody that your mother will listen to. If there's another relative that can see reason that you can go to that can kind of be a middleman and you still want to give advice, maybe try that route. But just keep in mind, it is not your responsibility to try to fix your mother's mistakes. It's not your job. So that's the best I've got for that question. I think it's very important. Bryle and Bootan, both thank you for the follows. I appreciate it. And Hope, I gotta stretch. Okay. And I know that wasn't the most direct answer, but I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't think that the child should be responsible for the parent. So that's just me. Are you kidding me? Why? Bryle was. Thank you. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. That's crazy. Thank you so much. Wow, thank you. You too. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you very much, Bryle. Wow. I don't even know what to say. Thank you. I guess move on to the next question. You're very sweet. Thank you, Bryle. Okay. So, I've been feeling stuck lately to where I feel like I'm stuck in a cycle of trying my best only to be knocked down by my family. Escape, thank you for the follow. It made me really depressed because I feel like I can never be good enough, especially compared to my cousins who already have jobs, kids, and etc. Oh man, I feel like this is yet another thing where the older generation just puts all this pressure on the younger generations for no reason. Oh man. So here's the thing, is that some of the most interesting people I have ever met didn't have a career that they started in their 20s. Some of the most interesting people I've ever met have bounced around from job to job, industry to industry, have traveled, have lived in several different places, weren't tied down by anything, and a lot of them end up being like, yeah, I really wish I could have figured stuff out, but they are the most interesting people because they've just experienced life so much. Probably reasons they just don't like saying it, maybe. But the thing is, I don't know how old you are, but I do understand the constant comparison that relatives will do. Understand that that's incredibly toxic and is not an accurate portrayal of your worth. Just because they can't see your worth because you're not hitting some metric they've decided does not mean that you are less of a person or worse of a person. That's nonsense. And I mean, honestly, kids in this economy, crazy. Who would do that, honestly? Who would have kids in this economy, right? Anyone who has kids right now must be crazy. Me. Indeed, who would? Only crazy people. Only people who just have no sense whatsoever. Mom. Anyway. But that's the thing too. You don't have to have kids. I hate that thing that the older generations are like, when am I going to get grandkids? And you should just be like, I don't know. When are you going to foster? You want a grandkid so bad? You can adopt. There's lots of children that need homes. You want a kid around? Fine, you get a kid. I don't want kids. You might want kids, but you want to have them with the right person. And I agree with that. There's no reason to settle just so you have kids before you're 30. Or these ridiculous rules that boomers have set for all of us. Oh, you don't have a house and kids by the time you're 30? Oh, you must be a failure. In this economy, are you kidding me? It's impossible. I've said it before on the stream, but the only reason that my family, that we live in a house instead of renting in a tiny apartment still is because my grandmother died and left me some money. so we could afford the down payment. Someone I loved had to die for me to be able to buy a house. Like, that's the economy we live in. So, no. They get your cat's presents for birthdays, and oh, that is really cute, PB. I love that. Oh, your parents are adorable. But that's the thing, like, you feel stuck in a cycle, and if you feel stuck because of your family's opinions, I think it's time for you to stop allowing them to share their opinions. I think it's time for you to set a boundary and be like, my personal life is actually none of your business. And if you keep bringing it up, I'm going to stop coming around. And that's okay to do that. It's okay to make a hard line boundary, to be like, you're asking about my love life, and that's crossing a line. I don't want to talk about it. You're asking me about work and stuff. I don't want to talk about it when I'm not there. And yes, exactly, Nova Cat's absolutely correct. It is okay to not call your parents. It is okay to go no contact with family. That makes you feel that every time you're around them, they make you feel less. They make you feel lesser. Go no contact. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. When are you having kids? Why do you want to know about my sex life so bad? Do you need a play-by-play of my Saturday night banging? You guys have heard our dogs on stream. We've got both. I've got a cat that's a little monster that thinks he's a dog, and 2 dogs that are also monsters. But yeah, no, like, that's the thing too. Like, if you're really sick of it, if you have the capability to do that, you can just fire back an answer like that. So like, so when are you going to get hitched? When are you going to start having grandkids? And you can be like, when are you going to stop asking about my sex life, Mom? And do it at the Thanksgiving dinner table. Be the person that causes the drama on Thanksgiving. Make it memorable. But no, I hate that. I hate when it's like this is the thing, is that if it was a friend that was making you feel like you weren't good enough, most people will be like, oh yeah, absolutely, cut that friend out, stop hanging out with that person. But for some reason, with family, everybody's like, oh, well, they're blood, the relatives, and so, like, you still have to deal with them. No, actually, you don't. If every time you're around family, you feel worse, they don't bring anything positive to your life, go minimal or no contact. Whatever you have to do to keep your peace. You're bluntly honest? Yeah. I was like, when are you gonna give us grandkids? When are you going to stop asking about my sex life? Not on my watch. Oh gosh. See, that's why there's no reasoning with my parents. They are just oh boy. Just sliding down that fascist wormhole. Whatever. But yeah, the other aspect of this question that I think is important to address is that you're stuck in a cycle of trying your best only to be knocked down by your family. So this, I think, requires you to change who you're trying to be the best for. Explosive, thank you for the follow. The person that you should be trying to be the best for, first and foremost, is you. Not anyone else. You should be trying to be the best for you. And if that doesn't match up with what family thinks, screw them. Just ramen is okay. Okay. You should be happy and satisfied with your life and your choices. And it sounds like you're not, because you're trying to appease other people. But why not try to prioritize what you think? Like, if you're unhappy at your job, then it makes sense to seek out another job, because you're the one that has to work that job. Not your parents, not your cousins, you. You have to do it. So you should be happy with it and feel like you're doing your best. The only other addendum to that I would say is that obviously if you do have a significant other that you care about, you should be trying your best for them as well. But that's a little bit different how you'd be trying to be the best for them. But you don't have to answer to your Aunt Sally on why you don't have kids yet. Ask her how her third divorce is going. Like, hi, Erin. But if you're in a cycle where you try your best and then it's not good enough for your family, then maybe you should be trying to be the best by your own standards. And then just stop sharing with family. If you're never going to be good enough for your family, why share? Why even let them in on that information? It's none of their business. Let them go compare your cousins to each other and make them compete. But you don't have to compete with your cousins. And I know that family can make you feel pressured to do so. You do not have to. This is me giving you permission to step away and not compare yourself to your cousins or anyone else. And just try your best to do what makes you happy and fulfilled. And screw what your family thinks. They at the end of the day, they're not the ones living your life, you are. So you should be the one that's satisfied with your life. And their opinions shouldn't matter. I know that's easier said than done, and it's one of those things where it's kind of like building a habit. But just kind of remind yourself that what your relatives think doesn't really matter. And they're going to go compare your cousins to each other anyways. Okay? So this is me giving you permission. Mom on the internet gave you permission to tell your family to screw off and mind their business if they don't have anything positive to say. And live for yourself. Make yourself happy. You have to live your life. So try your best to be happy with the life you're living. And the only person that you need to have evaluate that is you. No one else. Okay. Glitched Jane, thank you for the follows. Novacat, I'll drink water. Oh, trust me, I come from a toxic family, so I get it. I really get it, I promise. Okay? All right, this one's a bit of a longer one. And it's a bit heavier. Okay, so trigger warning, sexual assault. Just FYI. Fair warning. And it's a bit longer, so unfortunately on the screen it's going to be smaller. Right, exactly. It's okay to be selfish when it comes to yourself. Yes. All right, so the trigger warning, sexual assault. So bear that in mind. Not sure if this is too heavy a topic, but it's something that's been weighing on me. A former friend sexually assaulted my partner by cornering and kissing them without their consent. This individual was an integral member of our friend group, and my partner did not immediately inform me of the incident out of concern for the potential impact on our friendships. Despite expressing their discomfort to the perpetrator, this individual dismissed the assault as not a big deal. When my partner eventually confided in me, my immediate reaction was to sever all ties with this individual and inform others about their behavior. However, my partner was hesitant to do so, fearing that it would cause drama. Nonetheless, I insisted that I refused to associate with someone capable of such actions, and my partner ultimately agreed to cut ties. Unfortunately, I am troubled by the knowledge that other individuals within our friend group are likely at risk of experiencing the same mistreatment. I want to warn them about this individual, but my partner is concerned about the potential fallout. As a result, I have opted not to reveal what happened to anyone. When questioned about why I no longer spend time with this group, I simply state that I have a problem with the individual in question, but do not elaborate. Ultimately, the decision regarding whether or not to inform others about this situation rests with my partner, and I am left feeling guilty about the possibility of this individual continuing to assault others. My partner has recently spoken with another individual who left the friend group and learned that they had been assaulted in the same manner, leading me to believe that the perpetrator will likely continue to engage in this behavior. Am I doing the right thing? And to you and your partner, well, to you, honestly, I'm going to say, are you doing the right thing? No. But I understand. But no. In this case, this person has already established a history of forcing themselves on others. And you've even said that you're worried that that is going to continue. But here's the thing that just keeps happening is that people just leave the group without explanation. And that person stays in the group and will target somebody new. And then that person will leave. And the ones that are not getting targeted don't know that there's a problem. So the possibility with not speaking up of those friends accidentally bringing someone into the line of harm is very high. I understand your partner's trepidations about speaking up. It's hard to speak up as a victim for a number of reasons. Will they even believe me? Will people blame me? Will they say that I asked for it? Is it my fault? It's hard to speak up as a sexual assault victim. Believe me, I know, because I've speaking from experience. But not speaking up enables that person to continue doing the heinous behavior. So in this case, whether or not the other people in the friend group believe you doesn't matter as much as telling the truth on what happens. If they end up not believing you and siding with the assaulter, then you know that that's where their priorities are and you didn't make a mistake in stepping away from the group. But at least you spoke up so they know. But if the friends in that group actually genuinely don't know that this person is a danger to them or to any other friends they might introduce to the group, I would speak up, even if you don't say names. But you sound like you're harboring a lot of guilt for the potential of this person continuing to assault others. I understand not wanting to speak up because your partner's afraid of, quote, drama. But is that drama that people won't believe you? Or that the assaulter will say she asked for it? Because those are pretty typical responses. But to be afraid of speaking the truth about somebody harming others is not the right thing. I think the right thing to do in this case is to tell people exactly what that person did. Because saying that you have a problem with that person but don't elaborate, you're leaving it up to them. They might have gone to that person and they made up whatever story they wanted to make it like you were the bad guy. Because again, that's happened. That's happened to me too. You need to be honest and tell the truth on what happens. If nothing else, so that you can ease your mind that you did what you could to protect others, instead of harboring guilt that your silence is enabling this person to continue assaulting others. So yes, unfortunately, this is a very heavy issue, but my recommendation is definitely you need to speak up. Whoever you trust most in that group, you need to tell them the truth about what happened. And that you know that another person left the group for the same reason, that this person has done it more than once, and that there's a good reason to think they'll do it again. You need to speak up. Because just not elaborating with saying, oh, well, I just don't like that person, that's not enough. You have to be honest, or the guilt will eat you alive that you didn't speak up when you could have. So absolutely speak up and tell the truth on what actually happened and why you stepped out of the group. Please. If nothing else, to hopefully you did what you could to stop it. And I'm sorry that you have the burden of truth in this situation. But if we don't speak up against predators, we can't stop the predatory behavior. You have to speak up so that others know that they're a predator. You have to get rid of their hunting grounds. And the only way to do that is to speak up. So I think the right thing to do is to actually tell the truth on exactly why you stopped hanging out with that group because of that person. And it's not easy, but it's the right thing to do. So that's all I've got on that one. Raptor, thank you for the follow. And I'm sorry, I know that was a heavy one, but I certainly didn't want to leave it, I suppose. Okay. Where is my OBS? Okay. Question 4. My question is, what do you say to someone having trouble looking for a job? So here's the thing, is that really there are certain things that sound like platitudes, but it's the truth. If you're having trouble looking for a job, don't give up. Try every day. Treat applying for jobs like it is a job. But also, depending, because this is pretty vague. Like, for example, my job, I am having trouble finding another job because my industry, all of the companies are just laying people off. So there's an enormous amount of people looking for the same jobs I am. And then other stuff, like there's conventional advice of, oh, well, look outside where you live. Consider moving to a new area. And not everybody can do that, but if that's within your scope, that you could move for a job, take the opportunity. It could be an adventure. It'll enrich your life. But if you're having trouble, I'm assuming having trouble finding a job, not just looking for a job. But look for job postings on LinkedIn, look for job postings on job boards, Indeed, that kind of stuff. And I would say task yourself for applying for at least 3 jobs a day. At least 3, so that you don't burn out too badly. I would say more than that, you're probably going to burn out. But then also consider, depending on what job you're looking for, is there something you can do that will further enrich your resume? Is there a certification that you can earn online, or a certification that you can earn for free? There's a lot of places where it's a free certification, or it's only the fee for taking the certification exam. But look for ways that you could basically add to your resume to make yourself a more attractive prospect. If you're unemployed. Actually, no, if you are employed, it's just a time constraint. But the best thing I can say to someone that's having trouble looking for a job is don't give up. Yeah, burnout makes the search a lot harder. Original Hampstead is correct. So it's a matter of keeping your head above water until you can find a life preserver with a job. So just try to pace the job hunt so you don't burn out, but don't give up. Keep looking. Something will come up. Something will come up. And I don't know. Like, for example, if you work in HR, try to think outside the box on like what kind of companies you could apply for that have that sort of a department. Marketing, HR, administrative staff, all that kind of stuff. If you're having trouble looking for a job, consider working for the state that you're in if you're in the US, or a government job. Most of them don't pay very well, but usually once you're in a government job, you get to keep it, or they move you around. But I would just say, like, try to widen your scope on what you would consider an agreeable enough job to do. And if money is a concern, apply for anything while you're looking for jobs that you'd want to keep. Like, go work for Target, just so you're getting money coming in. If money is an issue, like, that's okay. If they ask on your resume, be like, I was still looking for my dream job, but I got bills to pay, So it's like, if money is a concern, don't turn your nose up in a job that's available. But if money is not a concern, or if you are currently employed and trying to look for another job, don't burn yourself out, and see how you can enrich your resume with a certification, or just anything like that would make it more attractive. What are your interests? See if you can relate your interests to the jobs you're looking for. And then, like, if you are interested in marketing but you have a love of photography, have a portfolio of your favorite photographs you've taken, ready to show if you get an interview. That sort of stuff. Orange-Hooded Assassin, thank you for the follow. But no, I know right now it's hard. It's a hard time in the economy. There's a lot of people that are job hunting, a lot of people that got laid off without notice. It's a very scary time. But just keep your head up. Don't burn out. Keep going. You've got this. You can do this. You will make a good employee. It's just finding the right opportunity. So don't give up. That's the best advice I can give, I think. Okay. I think maybe like a short little break if anybody wants to talk about their week or anything like that. We've got 3 more questions that were submitted in time for today. And I saw a response come in already, but we'll do that one next week because I wasn't prepared. I don't have that one available to put up on the screen, so we'll do that one on next Thursday. One job search hour per 1 work hour formula. Yeah, I could see that. Ayo, thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. Yeah, I would say, I mean, I still think maybe depending on the industry, but I still say actually doing the applications, because you know how they all want individual personalized cover letters now. So I would say no more than 3 to 5 a day. It'd be too much otherwise. Stomach pain, oh no. Aaron, I'm sorry. I hope that the stomach pain goes away. Oh, that's fine. Hamster, thank you for submitting one. We'll cover that next Thursday. I like being able to put them up on the screen, and whatever the new one is that came in, I can't look at it. I can't have it on screen for people to know what the heck I'm talking about after I've read it. So, drink water. 2 gays play, thank you. I'll drink water. Oh, people might be getting ads. Does ads every 33 minutes. Why? Why 33? Dark times through there. Oh man, yeah, that's tough. That's what I've kind of figured out is that me being pregnant, I'm basically unemployable. Nobody's gonna want to hire me, so I might as well just wait. But I'm gonna be getting a diploma in marketing. So I know. God. I really wish I could disable ads. I hate ads so much. No, Novacat, if you're a subscriber, you wouldn't see ads, or you're not supposed to see ads anyway. Or if you pay for the, PB, what is it called? Because you said that you paid for it. But there's something that you can pay, and it's like $8 to have an ad-free experience on Twitch on like any channel, but they kind of hide it. So you kind of have to look up, like you have to Google what it's called, but I don't remember what it's called. Twitch Turbo. Oh, Ayo, thank you. Yeah. If you want to just not deal with ads, they have Twitch Turbo. But I don't know where that is on their site. I think it's pretty well hidden because they don't want people to have Twitch Turbo. They want people to see ads. They make more money from the ad revenue. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Don't have the turbo. Yeah, you have to Google search it for it to come up. All right. With the girl I'm talking to currently pregnant, I want to do my best to be someone who can support her while she goes through this and be ready to help her physically when needed. So I guess my question is, as a sort of stepdad to be, what are some things I should know how to do? So I'm going to be blunt on this one. You are not the stepdad yet, nor would you be for a long time. So stepping in like you're the stepdad to this baby might, I think, is overstepping your bounds. What you need to approach this as that, yeah, you might be romantically interested and you guys are talking romantically, like you want to start dating at some point. If you want to be supportive like a friend or family member would. So things that you should know how to do, I would say, yes, like being able to change a diaper and step in and change a diaper, or if the baby's gonna be formula fed, knowing how to like set that up so that she doesn't have to. All of that is very nice. But I'll be honest, the thing that ends up being appreciated the most is not people that are like, oh, well, I'll hold the baby for you while you go get your laundry done. Offer to do the chores or cook meals for her. Because that's the stuff that's just going to be daunting because she's going to be tired. Like, everybody wants to come over and be like, oh, I'll help with the baby. No, come over and help with house chores. I promise that is going to mean so much more if you come over and like cook dinner and do the dishes for her so that she doesn't have to worry about it. Or, maybe not do her laundry for her, but like offer to watch the baby so she can nap. That sort of thing. I wouldn't do that right away though if you're only talking, depending on the person. Like, I would not trust certain family members to be alone with my child while I'm sleeping in the next room. So take that with a grain of salt. If she's comfortable with it, offer to let her go get a several-hour nap. And you'll make sure that the baby is taken care of while she gets some actual proper sleep. Or do chores. Or if she's out of groceries or something, go do a grocery run for her. Those things are going to be things that are much more needed than someone stepping in like, I'll be a father to this baby. That's not really your place. And it's up to the girl. It's up to the mother if that's even ever going to be your place. So as you're not stepping in as a sort of stepdad. You step in as a friend first when it comes to the baby. And the things she's going to need assistance with, ask her what she's comfortable with. But honestly, things like dinner and cleaning the dishes, or helping clean up her house or apartment, or getting a grocery run for her so she doesn't have to fix herself up to leave the house with baby, to do that sort of stuff. That stuff will be much more valuable. And then, yeah, I guess basics like knowing how to do the bottle feeding or diaper changing. But everything else should be like, it's just up to her. But no, you're not stepping in as a stepdad, especially if you were in a serious relationship. But if you're just talking, then as far as the baby is concerned, you are a helpful friend. You are a friend that wants to help with that baby. You are not a stepdad. So don't overstep your bounds with that. But yeah, my recommendation would be, instead of thinking that you're going to be like another parent to this baby, you're a friend that's willing to help out with the things that friends normally do. Like bring her food, do the dishes, vacuum her house for her, watch the baby so she can nap, that sort of stuff. That's the kind of stuff you need to know how to do. But if you think you're stepping in to be a stepdad, I think you're getting ahead of yourself. So please don't get ahead of yourself on that. Like, being a parent is a commitment. And if you're just talking, there's no guarantee that it's going to work out. So don't act like a stepdad or call yourself the stepdad. It's overstepping bounds. All right, that's all I got for that one. Hell, when Dad and I were talking and like liked each other but didn't know that we liked each other. I mean, he came, like, my youngest at the time spiked a really high fever and I had to take him to the ER. And he brought food and came to the ER and then went back to the exam room with me. And we watched Golden Girls. And he held my son, and my son fell asleep on him. But then when the doctor came in and called him dad, I freaked out and was just like, oh, no, he's not dad. He's the friend. And then that ended up being a misunderstanding. But I thought he'd be horrified to be called the dad of the child that's not his. So misunderstandings abound. But I've been in that situation with children and a new guy, and it gets confusing real quick. So don't add labels until it's appropriate, I guess. Okay. So this one was an interesting one, and I do need to remind you all, I am not a medical professional, nor am I a therapist. And I know just a little bit about the subject because one of my kids, but I'm certainly no expert on it, so take what I say on this one with a grain of salt, please. Okay. What do you think is the best way for an autistic guy to get better at talking to people and being more open? And following that, what would be the best way for an autistic person to know how to ask someone on a date? And of course, it's okay to ask. So you don't have to ask if it's okay to ask. I play D&D. So the thing is that I understand that a lot of autism therapy is basically teaching you how to mask. Masking for autistic people is like where you act quote unquote normal when it comes to neurotypical people. And I don't know the severity of the autism for the person that submitted the question. I only know my experience with my autistic daughter. And I don't know. So it's like, depending on how verbal you are, how good you are at making eye contact, that sort of thing, it can be difficult. But that's the thing, is like, I want to preface this by saying that like autism or any sort of like neurodivergent diagnosis is never an excuse for misbehavior. So trying to preface what I'm saying. But it is okay to just be more open about the fact that you do have autism, that you are autistic. Because then it's like, you can ask the people that are around you to be like, be direct with me because I might not understand if you're being subtle, or things like that. Like, you can ask the people around you to adjust a little bit because like what I've noticed or what I've been told is that reading between the lines is a lot more difficult between neurodivergent people and neurotypical people because you just think differently. So it is one of those things where it's like, I need you to just be direct with what you want. You don't like the smell of hair, do it yourself? What? Autistic and dating. And that's the thing too, is like, I mean, I'm too old for a diagnosis, but I'm pretty sure I'm autistic. But I think I just learned at a very early age, just out of necessity for survival. I think I learned how to mask my behaviors at an incredibly early age with my family. Hair dye. Oh, I mean, all hair dyes smell different though. Unrelated to the question. I need to focus on the question, sorry. But as far as like getting better at talking to people, I mean, the only way to get better at talking, because it's not even just autistic people that have trouble talking to people. There's plenty of people that are neurotypical and shy or have phobias. And really, the only way to get better at talking to people is to just talk to people. And I'm sorry that I don't have like a simpler fix than that, but it is just a matter of talking to people. But you can find, like someone said, like do D&D, do VR chat, that sort of stuff. And well, take that with a grain of salt because I've seen some toxic behavior in VR chat. People that just they try to be edgelords. But there are ways for you to kind of ease yourself into it. So like even just like talking in chat if is a good first step. If you're not used to conversing with people, is joining in conversations in a Twitch chat if you're not ready to talk out loud to people. And then after that is video game chat, which again, take it with a grain of salt because there's toxic behavior in game chats. VR chat, League, Overwatch. But it's how the subtle cues don't always connect. Yes, you can just be honest that subtlety or like you're not going to be able to read their mind. So just like you can ask people to just be direct and just tell you things. And that it'll be better and you're not going to be offended if they're direct. You know? Right. But then as far as like the best way to know how to ask someone on a date, I don't think it's any different for anybody else. I think asking someone you like out on a date is a scary experience, or a thrilling experience because there's always that doubt. Even for the most confident of people, there's always that doubt in the back of your minds. Unless you're Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, you have a little bit of doubt that they're gonna want to date you. And so like that doubt or like that asking them out won't go well is perfectly normal. But if you ask someone out on a date, the worst that they're going to say is no. That's it. That's the worst that can happen, is that they'll say no, but they're going to feel flattered that you asked. So you basically complimented them. And isn't that nice? I know it hurts to get turned down. But if there's someone you like that you already talk to and you connect with and you think there's possibility of a romantic connection, I mean, if you're not ready to ask them out on a date, you can just be like, hey, I like you. I was wondering if you feel the same way. And while it's scary, at least you know. And it gets a direct answer, hopefully. Greed, thank you for the follow. But that's the thing, is that if you're concerned about the best way to ask someone on a date, asking someone in a direct manner to do something with you, like, would you like to go on a date with me and do something with me? Being direct is the best approach no matter what. It doesn't matter that you're autistic. That's the best approach for everybody, I think. Hello, Greed. Stretch. All right, hold on. So I think in that case, getting better at talking to people, it's okay to ask people to be direct with you. And the best way for you to ask someone on a date, be direct when you ask them on a date, be clear of your intentions. Hey, I like you and I'd really like to go on a date with you. Would you like to go on a date? And the worst that will happen is they'll say no. That's it. And then you did it. You asked someone on a date. But they might say yes, and then you'll have a date. So best way is to just be very clear when you're asking what your intentions are. But that's the case for everybody, I think. Not just autistic people. I think everybody is, hey, so I like you, and I'd really like to go on a date with you. Would you like to go on a date? Or, I like you, and I'd really like to get to know you better. Would you like to go on a date with me? But yeah, no, the best way to get better at talking to people is to talk to people. And the best way to ask someone on a date is be direct and clear on your intentions when asking them out on a date. Yep, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. But the majority of people, like 99.9% of people, that date have been shot down at some point, at least once, myself included. So that's the scariest thing is going to happen, is that you're going to be turned down. That's not so bad. And maybe you won't be turned down. Maybe they like you too, and they've just been subtle about it, and you weren't sure. So yeah, be brave and be confident in yourself. Like, you're a great person that just happens to be autistic too. So you just need people to be direct. But that also means you also need to be direct sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Like when you ask someone on a date, be direct. I hope that helps. Everybody taking notes. Right, that was question 6. We only have one more question left. Ooh. Guys, we're almost at 2,300 followers, by the way. We're only 10 shy of 2,300 followers. That's insane. Okay, this one's another long one. Okay. Oop. I'm sorry, it's smaller. Dear Mom, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm okay, but I have an ongoing issue with the way my brain works. I have a perfectionist mentality that's been stuck with me for decades now. Excuse me. I had a lot of high expectations of myself as a kid. I had good grades, was in Confraternity of Christian Doctrine and Boy Scouts. I don't know what CCD is. Never drank or smoked or hung out with bad kids, just kept trying to be this perfect kid in order to make my parents proud of me. Robbie Q, thank you for the follow. They never forced me to be like that, but they certainly encouraged my good behavior. But maybe it was too much encouragement because now I'm stuck with this need to be perfect at all times with everything I do. I keep myself mute at social events because if I don't say anything, I won't sound stupid. I avoid trying new things because if I try and fail, I won't be perfect. If I need to solve a problem, I don't ask anyone for help because asking for help is a sign of weakness and naturally an imperfection. I often find myself thinking about all the terrible decisions and regrets I've made in my life. I know you're supposed to put the past behind you and think about the future, but most nights I lie on my couch or in bed and I'll randomly think of a time I embarrassed myself in school, or I was mean to a loved one, or told a lie and got caught. I'll start tearing up and finding it hard to control my breathing, kind of like a mini panic attack, I guess. These moments come and go, but mostly occur at night. These are all memories from long ago. Nobody but me thinks about these moments, yet the guilt is still there and it's strong. I know this is the wrong way to think. Time and again, I've been told that I don't have to be perfect, that it's okay to be wrong, to make mistakes. But my brain just can't seem to accept that, and I fear that the older I get, the worse it's going to be. The worst part is when someone says they're proud of me or they congratulate me for something, it feels like a lie. It always feels like a lie. I wish I could convince myself that it was true just once. I don't expect you to have an answer for me, but I just need to let it out instead of keeping it bottled up. Thanks for listening. So I am actually really glad that you spoke up instead of keeping it bottled up. Yeah, I'm recognizing that too. It's the gifted kid to depressed adult pipeline. This is actually way more common of an experience than you probably realize. And there's lots of other people going through this. And I'm going to repeat again, I am not a medical professional. I am not a therapist. I only know my own experience. But I was very similar in a lot of these aspects. I mean, obviously I wasn't in Boy Scouts, but yeah, I had this, like, it didn't help that my parents kind of had us compete against each other. I'm wondering, and again, take this with a grain of salt, I am not a therapist nor a medical professional, but a lot of what you've said also sounds to me like symptoms of ADHD, actually. The hyperfocus, perfectionism, that you don't try things because if you try and fail, that you won't be perfect at it. Not asking for help, thinking asking for help is a sign of weakness. Obsessing over little moments at night, especially. Laying awake at night, beating yourself up for perceived past missteps. All of those sound very much to me like adult ADHD symptoms or kid ADHD symptoms. But honestly, in this case, I do recommend trying to get an appointment with a therapist and getting a diagnosis at least. Because, and here's the thing too, if you're a perfectionist, I need you to hear me on this. The possibility that you have ADHD and definitely anxiety, medication can help. Now, a lot of people balk at medication, that somehow taking medication would be like some sort of failure, and that sounds like something that you would probably think. So I'm going to head you off right now. I'm going to cut that thinking off right now. If you need glasses, does anybody give anyone a hard time for having to wear glasses? Really? It's an aid that helps you live a better life, right? In fact, glasses are a disability aid, but it's very normalized and it's fine. And like, nobody cares if you wear glasses, right? Lots of us wear glasses. It's totally normal, right? Taking medications for things like ADHD and anxiety are not a failure. Think of them as an aid like glasses are. Okay? If you have to take medications, it's not a failure. You know? You want to wear glasses? You can get glasses. Nova, go to Zenny Optical online. You can get glasses with no prescription, lots of cute ones. But a lot of people seem to think that like going to a therapist is a failure. No, it's not. It's like a doctor checkup. You're supposed to get checkups. Going to a therapist or psychiatrist is just a mental health checkup. It's not a failure. Needing therapy is not a failure. It's a health checkup. Okay? Needing medications, not a failure. It's just an aid that helps you live a better life. That helps you live, it helps make your life easier. It is not a failure. So I want to make that very clear. But a lot of the things that you said that you've been going through from when you were a child to now, I actually went through a lot of that too. In my experience, it didn't get better for me until I was, how old was I? I think I finally went to a therapist and got help when I was 30. 30 years old. I'm 37 now. My last 7 years of life have been so much easier to bear than the 30 years that came before it. Because I needed to be on medication for anxiety and depression. And so I'm much better now. So the perfectionism and the needing to be perfect and things like that, especially like the perfect behavior from a child, I think is one of the lesser known symptoms of ADHD. But you definitely sound like you at least have anxiety, that you've had chronic anxiety, which has long-term effects on your health, your physical health. So please find a therapist, find a psychiatrist, talk to them about your experiences, have them do tests to diagnose if there's an issue. Yeah, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing with medications at all, but I do think that at least talking to a therapist, even if you don't actually have anxiety, like clinical anxiety or ADHD, you need to talk to someone. And asking for help is not a sign of weakness. In fact, it's incredibly difficult to finally ask for help. It's incredibly difficult to say you need help. It's actually a very, very brave thing to do. It is not a weakness. Most people are too afraid to do it. It's actually takes a lot of strength to admit you need help. Not a weakness. It's the opposite. Asking for help is a sign of strength. So, don't suffer alone. Don't suffer alone. And if it's too difficult for you to do it, if you have someone that you trust, ask them for help, to get the help, to find a therapist, that kind of stuff. I think you might be surprised how many people have a therapist they can recommend. So, not a weakness to ask for help. But going to a therapist and getting that mental health checkup, I think will do you a lot of good. They can do stuff like, cognitive behavioral therapy. It's kind of it's like tools. It's like different like thinking exercises, so that if you find yourself dwelling on the past at night and it's keeping you up, they'll teach you ways to break that habit and get past it so you can sleep. Yeah, it's good to have a therapist on retainer. It's good to have checkups. Come on, guys. Mental health is health. But I'm really seeing signs that there's something else going on. I'm definitely seeing anxiety. So I would find a therapist. I think that would do you the most good. Just talking to somebody. But yeah, ask about seeing if there's some sort of diagnosis. Because I don't know how old you are, but I know that you don't want to live like that the rest of your life. It's going to be exhausting. You're probably already exhausted. If what you've been doing isn't working, then you need to try something different. My recommendation would be find a professional therapist or psychiatrist to talk to. Even if it's just getting out everything that you've been harboring inside to this person. But asking for help is not a sign of weakness, and going to therapy is not a sign of weakness either. So that's my recommendation in this case. And when someone says they're proud of you or that they congratulate you for something, it's because you deserve it. Okay? You might feel like it's a lie, but no, you deserve it. You're being congratulated because you deserve it. They're proud of you because you deserve it. Okay? Mother knows best, okay? You deserve to be congratulated for how awesome you are. Oh, no, Robbie Q, you're fine, don't worry. And Doug, thank you so much for the bits. I really appreciate it, and thank you for the follow as well. Thank you. Lowen Von America, thank you for the follow as well. I don't know if I thanked you. Yeah, happy Star Wars Day. That was our last question for the day. We have one already for next week. But if you'd like to submit questions, hold on. Let me find my commands timer. Hold on, I gotta move my camera for a second. I should probably make this a command too, so that people can trigger it if they want. Yeah, I don't have a command for it. I really should, shouldn't I? I'll make it right now. But I'm going to be doing this every Thursday. If there's something that you would like, it's anonymous. I don't take people's names on this. You can ask questions anonymously. Okay? But really anything, if you need a mom's advice, and I'll give the best advice I can. Nosu, hello. It's exactly as you remembered. It's I haven't been streaming that long. Okay, we can take that down now. I haven't been streaming that long. You make it sound like I've been at this for 80. It's been 84 years. Excalibursaurus, hello. Before I forget, I'm gonna make a command right now. Chat commands, custom commands, add new commands. Command name, ask mom. Okay. User level, everyone. Is there a way to make it where it's like... where it can't just be spammed? User cooldown? Advanced settings, there we go. Okay, that's fine. That should be fine. Activate command. Okay, it should be an active command now. Sorry about that. It should be good. MomVT rebrand. Hey, you know what? I would love to still be doing this in my grandma years. Gam VT on deck. Okay, good. The command works. Good. I love the Aquina. Aquina? Wow. Atlanta Aquarium. It's one of my favorite places on Earth. Yes. No, if you can get pictures of the whale sharks and of the jellyfish. I love pretty pictures of the jellyfish. But I would love that. I love the Atlanta Aquarium. I don't live in Atlanta, but if I did, I'd be there every weekend. I would work there. Are you kidding me? I would work at the aquarium if I could. I'd be that person by the tank telling the kids not to grab the anemones. Yeah, I love the aquarium. I love aquariums in general. They're so nice. They're like just so relaxing and pretty. We've talked about that, right? That if I wasn't a human VTuber, I would be a whale shark. I did briefly think about getting like a whale shark model. Maybe I'll do that if I ever get partnered. You know? Too much too fast. Ooh. Well, I hope everything's okay now. That just happens sometimes. Sometimes it feels like everything's all at once, right? Oh, thank you. But yeah, no, I would be a whale shark. Hey, Red VT would love that. I mean, okay. Hammer the shark. He's such a sweet bean. I love Hammer. Mom in a whale shark onesie? Ooh. Maybe. Maybe someday. In the meantime, I wanted a spring outfit and a summer outfit. If I can only get one, though, I'm getting the summer outfit. It's gonna be beach ready mom. So make it a costume redeem. That would be cute, actually. I can ask KK how much that would cost. But like, wait, what would like a whale shark kigurumi look like? I don't even know what that would look like. I love whale sharks so much. But like, it'd be a dream come true to be able to. There's a thing you can do in certain locations in the world where you can swim with whale sharks, where you go scuba diving with whale sharks, and like, I would love that so much. Oh wait, don't thank me for the gift sub. Who was it? Hold on, wow, it's already been Bry Lewis. I was calling you Bryle. I'm an ass. Bry Lewis gifted those subs, I think. But welcome on in, Corvus. You've seen my clips on YouTube. Was it on Ville's Clips channel? Hacked a couple weeks with art commissions and projects. So well, good luck with that. I obviously have a huge respect for artists. I hope it all goes smoothly, and I hope the creative flow keeps flowing. Lots of spots, yeah. No, I'm just happy everybody's here. This is so nice. Ville is a good bean. One piece swimsuit with the apron on top. No, I have this whole idea. I'm so excited for it to come true and show you guys. And I even know, like, you know, because people do like outfit reveal trailers that they post on Twitter. And I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna make one myself. And I already know what song I'm gonna use for the reveal. It's gonna be "Turn Me Loose" by Loverboy. I heard it on the radio like a week ago, and I was like, oh, yes. Perfect. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm so excited. I'm really excited. But like, I can't wear a sweater all the time, you know? Like, sometimes mom needs to get outside. Oh, thank you for the alert, Corvus. Oh, 5 bulldogs. Oh, that's like an army of bulldogs. Oh, that's so cute. Give your bulldog snuggles for me. I love bulldogs. Laura, is that you're obsessed with that exact apron? No, I've got some like secret lore that I've revealed on stream a couple times. Although the apron is a clue, actually. So is my tier 2 sub emote. One goes to work. Oh my god, that's so cute, Corvus. You got a working bulldog. Aw. Does a working bulldog get paid in ear scritches? I've got a mutt. Technically, my dog, I think, is supposed to be like American bulldog, but he's a pit bull mix. Corgis are very cute. Just naps in an office. I mean, so do a lot of humans. Just naps in an office. A lot of humans also just nap in an office. Seems like he's working to me. Sounds like a good job. Mini pet English mix. Oh, cute. I used to want an English bulldog. I had a Basset Hounds, but he got taken from me. And so now I want a Basset Hound again, I think. Warehouse, good pay. No, working in a warehouse is tough work. Kosar, what would you like to ask? Marvel or DC? I suppose Marvel. Marvel for movies and DC for comics. Yeah. I like DC comics better. Marvelous. For lifeguard and other aquatic safety companies. That's cool. That's really neat. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually really nervous about my doctor's appointment today with the ultrasound, and it's approaching. I'm gonna have to end stream soon so I can go get ready and get out the door. I'm really nervous, but everything's probably fine. Everything's probably fine. I'm just neurotic. Yeah, thank you. It'll be fine. I'm just, I worry. I'm a worry warts, so that's all right. Drink water. Thank you, Doug. Mommy. Was that a delayed? Oh, new activity. Uh-oh, I scrolled down and didn't realize it. I'm sorry. Doombringer, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Sorry, on my creator dashboard, it does have my stream, but my stream is really tiny, so I couldn't see your name. You all are very sweet to me today. Thank you. My pet emote was made by Party Demoness. It was really sweet of her. I don't know why she did that for me, but it was very sweet. First time. Well, welcome on in, Doug. Yep, Minerva made that emote for me. Oh, yeah, no, having to just wait with a belly full of water and having to go to the bathroom is the worst. I'm sorry, Robbie Q. Yeah, Min is amazing. I love Minerva. Be fair, thank you for the follow. Everyone, we're 7 follows away from 2,300. Well, that's the thing, Kosar, is I answer to mommy. I have a toddler, so I'm used to it. But if people are thinking it in a lewd or sexual manner, then yeah, that's not what we do here. Although, I don't know if I've told you guys that. Because we have talked about it, that I really like rap music and I wanted to do some rap covers. I came up with a persona. How Nicki Minaj has Roman? Mom's gonna have an alter ego, so don't worry. I'm so excited. Snoop Mom? No, it's not Snoop Mom. It's an original name so that nobody's gonna get mad at me. Excalibur Saurus, thank you for popping in. It was wonderful having you. Have a good day at work. Vinyl, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I'm not your daddy, I'm your dad. Nah, they're still daddies. I know what's up. You know what's up. Power metal? I've listened to some metal before. Thank you. I really appreciate it, Excalibur. But no, I'm excited. I'm going to come up with a persona. The persona, I think, would have to be a PNG, though. I can't afford another whole new outfit. But maybe someday. It's just, I want to get these two first. Okay, Doug, have a good one. Have a good day at work. I hope everything goes well. Actually, that's my plan for that's my plan this weekend is to record some. I still owe you a reading of Go the F to Sleep, uncensored, that I'd post to YouTube. I'll be honest, I lost my copy of the book. That's the whole reason I haven't done it yet. Is it got misplaced somewhere in the house and I don't know where it is. But I do owe you a recorded reading of Go the F to Sleep. And there's 2 songs that I want to do covers of as my alter ego, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about that. Alex, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Things you didn't know you needed that. What? Oh, the recorded reading? The audiobook. Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson did a great job with it. Alex, hello. Welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. So I'm kind of stalling, but maybe I should go ahead and get ready a little bit, like 5 minutes early. Kind of want to be adopted. Well, I can't legally adopt you, but my door is always open. And you're always welcome here. So if you ever need a break from things. Vexoria, oh my god, Vexoria would do an amazing job with it. I don't want to listen to other people's readings before I do it, but I'll listen to hers after mine. I don't want to compare myself to the queen, you know. No need to make myself self-conscious before I do the reading. You're sick. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Make sure to still eat even if you're sick. Even if it's just soup and bread. Make sure you have something to eat. Make sure you drink plenty of fluids, like Gatorade or water. You just ate. Okay, good. You got to take care of yourself when you're sick. Glory Hammer. What? What's Glory Hammer? That sounds like a D&D thing. All right, everyone, thank you so much for popping in today. But yeah, I need to get ready for my appointments. For my ultrasound appointment to make sure everything's okay. Who just followed? Death Wish, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Let's see. I don't, because we just raided Poppy recently. Bell Beeps? Do we want to go say hello to Bell Beeps? They're doing arts. Rune Jacob, hi. Let's go say hi to Bell Beeps. She's a good bean. Let's go over there. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. This is my last stream of the week. I'll see you on Monday. And I'll be getting some stuff done this week. So I'll be uploading some stuff to YouTube. And I will be recording. Because I'd like to get those moving. But I love you all very much. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you on Monday, okay? All right, bye everybody.